Hello there, and welcome to today's episode of the EdTech Podcast. My name is Monica Burns, and I am so glad that you're here to join me today. If you want to make the most of education technology, aka EdTech, well, you are in the right place. My goal has always been to help make EdTech easier and give you ideas you can try yourself, share with a colleague, or bookmark for later in the school year. Every Tuesday here on the EdTech Podcast, you'll hear stories from my time in the classroom, the work I do now with schools and districts, and my travels to different EdTech events. Get ready for solo episodes where I share some quick tips and stories, and interviews full of practical ideas and stories from new guests each month. If we mention something you'd like to check out, make sure to click the link. You'll find it in the episode description or the summary area where you're listening to this podcast, or you can find every episode and all of the resources we mention by going to classtechtips.com/podcast, or by going to classtechtips.com and just clicking on the EdTech Podcast button at the top of the page. Today's episode is sponsored by my new free quiz, Unlock the Best Way to Use Chatbots in Your Teaching. This quick 5-question quiz will help you figure out the best way to use AI this school year. Find out if AI can support your instructional planning and help you tackle your to-do list. Everyone who takes the quiz will also get a free ebook. Head to classtechtips.com/quiz to find my new quiz. Unlock the best way to use chatbots in your teaching. That's classtechtips.com/quiz. Today's episode is titled Creative Brain Break Ideas with a Digital Twist. Classroom brain breaks can be a great way to reset energy levels, improve focus, and really build a sense of community among students. It's way more than a simple pause in instruction. Brain breaks can really impact a student's ability to retain information and engage more actively in their learning. It can slow things down. It can put in a pause into what might feel like a fire hose of information to them during a lesson. So in today's podcast episode, we're going to explore what brain breaks are, why they might be a good fit for your group, and how you can incorporate brain breaks into your routine if you work with students in a classroom, or how you might recommend them to some of the educators that you work with. So starting right at the top, what is a brain break? Well, a brain break is a short mental and physical break from academic work that can help kids refocus and re-energize. These breaks provide an opportunity for everyone to step away from the cognitive tasks that might feel a little intense and shift their focus to something a bit more lighthearted, a bit more creative, or maybe even something that incorporates movement. So this can be especially effective when kids are working through a challenging lesson, and these small moments can really pack a punch, whether it's reducing some frustration or even increasing student motivation. There's lots of reasons why teachers might use a brain break to help kids refocus after they've been concentrating really hard on something, to help build community and foster collaboration, or even just resetting the energy in a classroom, whether that's because the energy is feeling a little static or maybe low, and getting kids more engaged what they're working on. So in today's episode, we're going to explore how to strategically incorporate some brain breaks into your day to create more productive and engaging learning environments for students. So let's jump into this list of a handful of creative brain break ideas for your classrooms. The way you decide to introduce brain breaks to your group will depend on students' age, interests, their learning needs. And so in this list I've put together for you, you'll really want to make sure you customize it to the needs of your group. The first activity is a quick draw. You can encourage creativity by asking students to do a quick sketch related to a fun prompt. Now, the goal here isn't artistic perfection, but rather a playful opportunity to take a break from a traditional learning experience. This could certainly be an offline activity, or you might make an EdTech connection. For example, you could use tools like Nearpod and Seesaw, or simply have students use paper and pencil to create their drawings. If time allows, you might consider letting students share their sketches in pairs or small groups. Next up are engaging prompts. These could be thought-provoking prompts as ones that you use to incorporate some more writing or discussion-based brain breaks. Now, there's a few different places that you could go to find some ready-to-use short prompts. One place that may be a little bit unexpected is Khan Academy Refresh. We're so used to Khan Academy and their short videos, but their Refresh is a special area of all things Khan Academy, totally free, and it provides some excellent short prompts that can work across multiple grade levels. So you can have students respond with an illustration or a short list or even a brief conversation to spark creativity and engagement. So it might be that you start with a quick draw, some engaging prompts, or number 3 on our list, coloring book pages. Now, over the past year or so, I've shared a lot of content related to AI on the blog, on the podcast, and the topic of AI and how to generate supplemental resources has really been a big focus of the professional learning, professional development work I do too. If you've joined me for a workshop or a webinar, you've probably seen me model some of these strategies. So one thing I love to share that you can also use as a brain break is coloring book pages. I have a blog post, How to Make Your Own Coloring Book Pages with AI, where I go step by step through this. And popular tools like Adobe Firefly, Canva's Magic Media, Color Bliss is another one, will allow you to make some coloring pages with their text-to-image tool. We've talked more about this in other parts of the blog and podcast, of course, but not just for littles. You could do this with students of all ages. Number 4 is story starters. Now, Scholastic Story Starters is a oldie but a goodie. It's been around for a while and a fantastic tool for some quick, fun writing prompts. Kids can spin a digital wheel to generate an imaginative scenario, or of course you could spin the wheel if you got it up on a big interactive board, and then they'll write a few sentences or a short paragraph, and then you could also turn this into a think, pair, share activity if you didn't want it to be a writing activity. And if you do a think, pair, share, it might be even something where kids take turns building off of each other's stories. Another place to go for some quick prompts or prompt ideas for stories is a chatbot. You can tell a chatbot like ChatGPT or Gemini a little bit about your group, like their grade level, for example, and ask it to give you ideas for story starters you can share with them. So story starters, whether you do something straight from Scholastic Story Starters or you give a custom prompt to ChatGPT, plenty of options for you to gather some quick prompts to share with students. Another AI connection is to create some AI-generated music. So in addition to AI-generated coloring book pages for a brain break, you might share some music made with artificial intelligence. For example, you might ask students to help compose a prompt that you enter into a tool like Music FX. Then you can all listen to the creation together before you move on to your next activity. You could also have kids prep ahead of time and write out a prompt, and then you pick it out of a hat when you're about to do it or get that music together, go live for the group and do it with that tool. Now, not the only tool. I've got a blog post called 7 Ways to Use AI Music in Your Classroom that also allows you to allows you to gather some quick ideas. Suno's another one, but this would be a fun, quick way to share a music clip that kids have helped you create. More brain break ideas include trivia questions. You could use a platform like Kahoot for a trivia challenge that reinforces classroom learning, but also energizes kids too. They've got plenty of pre-made trivia quizzes on a wide range of subjects, or of course, you could create some custom quizzes tailored to your students' needs, their interests, and your curriculum. In addition to trivia questions, you might do a Wonder of the Day. Wonderopolis has also been around for a while now, and they provide a daily Wonder of the Day prompt. This encourages curiosity, discussion, and these prompts work well as brain breaks or even as a discussion starter for classroom debates or research-based activities. If you want something with a little more movement, you might do a yoga stretch. Simple stretching exercises or breathing techniques are a great idea for a brain break. You might have kids do a few chair yoga poses or take a deep breath to help them reset their focus. There's a few different places you might go for ideas here. If you're familiar with the Calm app, there's Calm for Schools, which has some great quick music that you might share with students here for this type of activity. You, of course, could Google chair yoga on YouTube for some ideas. You just want to make sure that you find something that is kid-friendly and safe for them to try out. You might also decide to use the next idea, another movement one, which is to use a movement-based brain break. So sure, yoga might fall into that category, but here, I'm spotlighting Go Noodle. Go Noodle can provide some fun, engaging videos to get kids up and moving. That might be dancing, stretching, simple movement challenges. Incorporating physical activity into your classroom can help kids release energy and refocus as you move from one activity to the next. Now, you might also try out some quick questions using an interactive polling tool. Maybe that's Mentimeter or Poll Everywhere. You can have kids participate in some quick, engaging activities. You might do a this or that style question or have kids vote on a silly debate topic, something that would add an element of fun to their learning day. You can also create a word wall, which is one of my favorite things to do, or word cloud, which is one of my favorite things to do with Mentimeter, where kids respond with 1 or 2 words, and then it shows which ones are the most popular. So great way to interrupt a heavy lesson with something a little more fun. Now, if you want to use a chatbot to gather some classroom brain break ideas, that might help you find something even more customized than what I've shared in today's podcast episode. So a chatbot, whether that is ChatGPT or Gemini, can be a great resource for generating customized suggestions that align with your teaching goals. So you could provide a specific prompt where you gather then some info, some ideas that you then tailor to your classroom needs. So for example, you might do something like, I am a, put in the grade, teacher, and I need ideas or brain breaks for my class that will promote and then you pop in that skill that you're working on. Maybe it's something like a collaboration skill or a discussion skill, right? Or something else that might not be traditionally academic, but a goal for your class and all the same. So for example, if you wanted to get some ideas, say you teach third grade and you want brain breaks that encourage teamwork, a chatbot might suggest some cooperative games, some partner activities, some role-playing exercises, and you can play with the prompts, of course, to say they all love sharks or something else that might get you some really high-interest brain breaks too. Now, classroom brain breaks are a powerful way to keep kids focused, engaged, and energized throughout the school day, whether you're with the same group all day long or working with a group for just 40 minutes. You might want that nice break in the middle. And whether you're incorporating creative drawing activities, movement breaks, discussions, there are so many directions to go in and ways to keep it fresh over the course of the year. So let's make this EdTech easy with a few key points from today's episode. Use brain breaks to help students refocus and stay engaged. Incorporate creative activities like quick draw or story starters. Try movement-based activities like a chair yoga stretch or a Go Noodle video. Leverage AI tools for generating music, coloring pages, and fresh ideas. Remember, you can find the show notes and full list of resources from today's episode by heading to easyedtechpodcast.com and finding today's episode. Today's episode is sponsored by my new free quiz, Unlock the Best Way to Use Chatbots in Your Teaching. This quick 5-question quiz will help you figure out the best way to use AI this school year. Find out if AI can support your instructional planning and help you tackle your to-do list. Everyone who takes the quiz will also get a free ebook. Head to classtechtips.com/quiz to find my new quiz. Unlock the best way to use chatbots in your teaching. That's classtechtips.com/quiz. Thank you for listening to this new episode of the Easy EdTech Podcast. I love creating new episodes for you each week, but I could use a bit of help spreading the word about the podcast. Can you leave a rating or review on your favorite podcast app? Spotify will let you tap on the stars, and Apple Podcasts will let you tap on the stars and leave a 1 or 2 sentence review. Thank you so much for taking this extra step. It helps other educators find episodes like this one when they're searching for EdTech tips.